say this first. I've had a dander issue for a long time since I was a kid. And I realize now it's a skin issue. And so somebody told me about using rubbing alcohol. I started using that today. It really worked. It really worked. And I'm gonna start using wintergreen. But I'll find rubbing alcohol so I can find what's that. Let me start this off by saying that if this pandemic is bad, contagion type bad, I want to make this point clear. I've never said that Trump is going to be solely responsible for what happens. I've never said that. I think that worst case scenario, I'll be talking to you guys. I'll look back at it, and I just like they referred to when Detroit went bankrupt. It'll be like that. Kwame Kilpatrick did not cause Detroit to go bankrupt by himself. He did not. And anybody that's just trying to put that out there is an idiot. One of these conservatives just trying to say any black city, any big city is look at what they do. It's bullshit. But what Kwame Kilpatrick did with his corruption is he shifted resources away from dealing with the issue, and there was all this public. People weren't looking at what was really important, which was the city going bankrupt. And that's what I think about Trump when he takes money from the Defense Department to go to the border. When he takes money from FEMA to put towards the border. These are all things that he's taking help from things. Okay. If this gets bad, we'll need FEMA. We'll need these type of emergency agencies to keep order, to maintain order, and to help us if this thing gets into months and months of that, and there's bodies in the streets. So I really, really honestly feel as though he's doing his own supporters a disservice in a way. If you want to be honest. Yeah, he's doing them a disservice but they are so motivated by hate that I don't think they even care about it no more. I don't think they even care about. I really believe it, like they say, getting back at the libs. I really believe that their whole love for Trump is really motivated and based off of hatred. It's a hatred that they're not in control anymore. That blacks and other groups have risen up. We have control of government. We have public office. And white people are pissed. I've said it many times before, though. When I grew up, I used to always hear police and white folks say, hey, I'm doing my job. If you don't like it, change the law. I've heard that 100 times when I was a kid. You don't like it, change the law. Change the law. Change the law. Well, we're doing that now. We're legalizing marijuana. Or decriminalizing marijuana. Some people are talking about maybe decriminalizing prostitution. Not getting into that here. Some people, there's been a lot of discussions about cash bail and things like that. We're having these discussions now. And so now the Caucasian's response is, I'm going to get a gun. I have to get a gun, and I'll give you Charlottesville. I'm going to go down to Trading Tryon with guns and bats and helmets and pepper spray and mace and have my swastika on the shield and all this. Is what they did. They did. And the president called them very fine people. You saw it and I saw it. Or you get like the thing they did in Kentucky and the thing they did in Richmond. Same thing. Taking my guns. You're not even going to move towards my guns. You're not even going to have any kind of. It killed me with Texas. How with all the mass shootings they had, Santa Fe and all that. All they wound up doing was they couldn't even pass a bill on gun safety in the home. Couldn't even do that. Those kids died in vain. I want to be clear about that. Santa Fe, those kids died in vain. And I'm not one of these guys that talks about how no good crisis should go to waste. I don't believe that. I think it's tragic what happened. But as a progressive society, we have to take every mistake, every failure, every catastrophe, and find a way to prevent it. This is what I mean when I say I guess I'm a technocrat. I believe that science, technology should be used to put forward a better society, and that our laws should be based upon evidence. Does this work? Not does it make some cracker in a hillbilly cowboy hat in Gastonia how it makes him feel. You understand? We should do these things upon science and upon evidence, and you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be how you feel, like they do in Texas. They make laws based on how they feel and things like that. No, man. We're gonna be progressive. We gotta learn from things, and sometimes that means learning from tragedies like Santa Fe, like Parkland, like Virginia Tech, like Columbine. These were all massacres, and these children died unnecessarily. They died in vain. They didn't have to die. They didn't have to happen. Didn't have to happen. So, getting back on subject, my thing is that if this thing is bad, Trump didn't cause it, I don't think, but he definitely contributed to a slower response, a weaker response. And that's what gets my conservatives. Conservatives don't think like that. That it's all, I mean, like they are so demented and so enraged about Trump and people trying to stop Trump that just anything that they can do with the border wall and flags, they just like, they're full of hatred. And that's why I'm on the road. I don't talk to these people on the truck stops. I don't. They are so full of rage and hatred that here we are in the middle of a pandemic. In the middle of a pandemic. This thing is jumping continents. There's no cure in sight. We know China's been lying about this thing. You got people. You got a lady. She was to Germany, did a speech. She was like, I think she was like 2 weeks went by, and she didn't get sick till she got on the plane to come back, and she passed it on. That's boogeyman time. Okay, that's not. I'm not looking out the window. That's boogeyman time. That's the dude's in the. If I was using an example, a dude looking for me, I'm not looking out the window and shit. I'm like, hey, y'all look out for him or whatever. When that happened, that ain't boogeyman time. That's put the kids in the back, turn the lights off, and get your guns, because it's going to happen. That's what that tells you. This thing cannot be stopped. Don't be standing at the window when this man comes, when he comes trying to kick in your door. When he try to kick in your door, you need to be standing there, bullet in the chamber, other magazines ready, the other gun ready. Already done called somebody else. Hey man, I need help. You know, you might need to do this, that, and the other. I need you to get over here. Get moving. You know, you need to already be ready. And I get a feeling that if we had a major pandemic, Trump will make the wrong decision. I think that Trump would even possibly somehow try to use the pandemic to stay in office, or try to use it to like go after Chinese people. I just get that vibe. Like he's not going to. I want you guys to understand something, and some people don't get it. You gotta get beyond the point of thinking that Trump is just doing this stuff for politics, and that if something really bad happens, he'll do the right thing. You've got to stop that shit, and you got to move beyond that. This guy's a nut. He may be a drug addict. He may be mentally ill. I don't know. I can't prove those things, and it may come out that he was on Adderall, sniffing or whatever. I've heard that. But what I will say is the ideologue. You know, this is a person who is such a fascist. You know, that's why he's isolated himself from NATO, and he's hanging out with Jinping over there in China and hanging out in North Korea. And, you know, this guy sent me love. We fell in love. Yeah, because you like fascists. You like that. Yeah, you do. You like that. You don't like democracy. You don't like people having a say. Yeah, that's why Alex Jones and them come out talking about the yellow vest. They were chanting something, talking about they're chanting, "We want Trump, we want Trump." It's a goddamn lie, man. It's a goddamn. That was a blatant lies. I look back at it and I'm like, wow, I believe that stuff. Blatant lies. Anyway, I just I make the statement often about how people think Trump doesn't believe in climate change. I don't think so. I think he does believe in climate change. I think it's a little bit different than ours. We're talking about changing it, maybe slowing it down, maybe stopping it altogether. That's what we're talking. That's what EcoShock's talking about. I watch it leading. That kind of listening at night. That's that. When the Republicans put all those millions to study climate change so their military bases could stay up, talking about 20, 30 years into the future, that's not about mitigating climate change. That's about, like I mentioned before, we're not in control of this thing anymore. We're going to run into the wall full speed, 100%. We're going to put the pedal down. Put the pedal down. And how do we keep the brick wall from maybe not killing some of us? Also, they didn't talk about this. What happens when all these people out here realize these folks knew about this? Exxon, they knew about this shit years ago. They knew about climate change back in the 70s. They've lied to you. They've hid it from you. They've backed presidents that lied to you about it. And now you're in a situation where you barely got enough clean water, clean food. It's going to be a lot of rage out there. It's going to be a lot of anger out there, a lot of rage, because we've been lied to. That report I read on the military, that basically gets me right there. I'm not even having a discussion with you about climate change existing no more. It exists. They're scared too. That's what that document showed you. That money that was what it shows you. We're scared. But it's not about saving you or me. It's about saving the corporations. Because all the military does is ride shotgun with the multinationals. That's all they do. The military isn't about protecting me or you. It never was. The military is about keeping these natural resources open. So you want to try to nationalize your oil fields? We'll kill you. You want to try to go up there in Africa, create your own Pan-African currency? We'll kill you. That's what the U.S. military is for. Keep those resources open, keep that brown man in his place, and keep him down. That's the point. And I think that might be why they're going after China now, because China's working with Africa in certain things. Not defending the Chinese. Not defending them in any way. Just making them point. Like my dad said, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. I don't think maybe the Chinese have the hatred for them the way Caucasians do. Getting off subject. If this thing gets bad, I hope it doesn't. It's weird. I used to be a survivalist when I was younger. I had all these guns and stuff. And it's like, I thought the world would be better. I believed all this stuff about overpopulation and stuff. And now it's like, this stuff scares me. Like, I could be in a bunker right now. You could give me $100 million. I could buy a fucking bunker, get everybody on Doomsday Prepper, and have them come in and get every episode of Doomsday Prepper, if I could get what those guys had. Like, I could have my own little 20 acres of land. Remember them two gay guys that I would pay them, bring them on, have them do that, get me a Doomsday bus, build something in the ground, get them all that. Even if I did that, I would still be terrified. Because now I guess I understand better now that our society can't turn off. The nuclear reactors, with all the stuff we have now, the world will just blow itself up. You know what I mean? The idea that, well, humans will die and we'll just, no, dude. I know about, the fallout winter, nuclear winter, I know about that. That you can't, even if you survive, you come out, you can't grow crops, you know. And the ozone layer will be really messed up, so you get a sunburn very easily. You're gonna have all kind of crazy stuff out here. You're gonna have a lot of crazy people who, given a free hand, it could get bad. I think that's what Charlottesville and all that showed you, is that if you had an absence of law and order, you could very easily see some white supremacist violence out here. Like the Klan running around on a horse, that could very clearly happen. And again, I think you have a lot of police that are into that stuff too. I think you have cops. I mean, that's already come out. You had the thing out there in Washington. The cop was sending messages back and forth by the end of Europa. We knew this stuff existed. You give them information on when the protests were happening. We knew this shit. Them cops probably don't think it's a bad thing. What's the big deal? We're white. You know. Yeah. Yeah. I have a better understanding of that you can't wipe off the slate. You can't wipe the slate clean. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, you can't do that. This world will destroy itself. You know, Russia got the dead hand system and all the perimeter, all that stuff. Man, that's what terrifies me, is what will happen. You know, I hate our government. I hate the way our system operates. But you can't stop this train, and I know that. So, but I just felt like making this video. If the worst thing happens, I want to be remembered that I never said that Trump himself was the cause of this. No, it's a lot of different things that led to this. China fucked up. WHO is political. Yeah, that's not Trump. It's got nothing to do with Trump. But Trump is weakening America, and I hope people call him out for that if it does get bad, because we need to be stockpiling. Like, we need to be like having videos on YouTube explaining like how to do this, different kind of masks. The WHO, CDC needs to be out here like talking to people. They need to be having like meetings and having meetings. They're doing some of that. They need to be having meetings on YouTube like every week talking about this, that, and the other. I feel like nobody's holding China to task behind this. Nobody's saying like, yo, this is fucked up what you guys did. Someone needs to go to jail behind this. You know, they had a dinner after it happened. They had a parade. People get sick. You know, locking folks up for talking about it. Nah, man. So, I don't know. Love you guys. Peace.